Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tef.
And I'm Saidar.
We are the punk rock parents.
That's right. But today we're going to talk about something different than music.
Something near and dear to our hearts.
Absolutely.
We are big Wheel of Time fans.
Yeah.
We've both read the series multiple times. I've read it up until a certain part, but I've listened to the audiobooks as well as Saidar at least twice.
Right.
I think I've listened to them
I
3
have
times.
You've probably done
And
more.
she's done twice.
Yeah.
So we both have things we like and dislike about the series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would have very few dislikes.
And we know everybody and their brother out there is doing their take on this.
Yes.
So this is just our personal take on what we think of so far. At this point in time, season 2 just ended.
Yep. So, where to begin with it?
Well, I have my first dislike. The first thing I want to bring up, and it's about pronunciation. But when Michael Kramer and his wife did the audiobooks, Robert Jordan was still alive. So when they asked him how to pronounce these really long made-up words, he told them the correct pronunciation. So that's, to me, you know, Kate and Michael are canon of how to pronounce things. It's Falma, not Falm. Tarvalin, not Tarvalon. So
I don't have as much of an opinion in this one, honestly, because as long as, I'm going to be honest, I don't care how they pronounce the words as long as they say them. Like my biggest complaint, they're not using Saidin and Saidar.
Yep, that's my number second. My number second.
My number second.
My number 2 is they're two halves of the power. They're not the same power completely. One can't access the other. If you're a male, you can't access the female and vice versa.
Right.
So you have to call them by their names. It is Saidin and Saidar. We have a dang black and white cat named Saidin.
I was going to say my reasons are slightly more personal because my name is Saidar and my cat is Saidin, and I was really looking forward to them actually saying these words out loud on TV.
She actually has several video game characters over different MMOs, all named Saidar.
I'm just really wanted to hear them say the word, and it hasn't happened yet, and I'm just like, oh, I'm never going to hear it.
This is how big of fans we are. We have a cat named Saidin. We have a dog named Bashir. We shortened it. It's not Lord Davern Bashir. Well, it is. But we just call him Bashir. Or Bashi.
Yeah.
We have a son whose middle name is Perrin, and a daughter whose middle name is Moraine.
That is true. All right, so aside from mispronunciations, or in my case, leaving out words altogether, is there anything else that is really bugging you, or would you like to talk about something that you love?
Well, if we're on the negatives, it's just another big one is how they portrayed Matt.
Oh, well, I have to agree with that a little bit because I don't like Matt being portrayed as darkly as he's been portrayed.
He was a prankster.
I think the reason
his parents were not like that either. They were well respected.
Yes, and that probably bothers me even more than Matt, to be honest, because can you imagine just having your character being turned into a womanizer and a drunk?
Yeah.
It would just be so awful if you were great, upstanding people and you had your characters turned into people who were not. I do understand the reason for it, though, is it's character building for Matt to make him seem so much more heroic when he becomes the hero.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Which did come out in the last couple episodes of
but
season
until
2.
that happened, it had me rubbed wrong a little bit because I was like, wow, I just really don't like this. But I think now that Matt has been able to show more Matt, and he's been able to actually become the hero of the Horn, and it's redeeming. Yeah, it's good. I just really wish they would have traveled that route a little gentler for Matt because I just didn't like seeing him being portrayed so. I mean,
I understand you're trying to compress 14 books into 64 episodes.
Right.
And that's fine. And part of that reason was that he said, well, you know, it's going to take so long. But if you're doing a year and a half between seasons, come on.
Well, I mean, I'm not really concerned about
the
length of. I mean, the length of time in between seasons is concerning to me because I don't want to wait that long. But I don't think it. For me, it's not connected to how they portray characters.
It's not how it's
other than, unless they feel like they have to speed up people's character development for certain reasons because of the shortened, seasons. Because the seasons can't be as big as everybody wants them to be. they have to speed up some of their paths.
And my fear
faster,
is,
you know.
okay, at the end of season 2, they're kind of through book 2, maybe a little bit on book 3, how they're
There's
mixing it up.
crossovers of book 3.
So you got 6 more seasons for 12 more books, 11 more books.
I believe a lot of story arcs will get cut.
It worries me because there's only really been a couple book adaptations that have went well. And of course, the big one that comes to mind is Game of Thrones.
That one went really well.
Why did it go well? 1 book, 1 season.
But there was only 5 books. Well, 4 at the time. Really?
Well, I think it was 5 at the time they came out.
Okay.
But I had a solution because if you're making money, it's all going to work out. But you can't do these, year and a half between seasons. Bust out your season and bam, bam. Then start the next season. Because guess what? By the time you finish 8 seasons, if you're doing 1 season per book, they're going to buy you the other seasons because you're doing it correct. All the fans are on board, and it's going to push forward.
Maybe. Or maybe Amazon would just be like, or you have to remember Sony's also involved. So maybe they would be like, we don't care how well it's doing. You're getting 64 episodes, period, and that's it. And maybe we don't know that. And that's
Nobody turns down money.
I'm just saying,
down money.
You never know. That could
look how well Game of Thrones worked out that they found another series to do because it was so well. They're like, oh, let's do a prequel.
Yeah.
So just stick with it. There's no reason to. And if you're trying to take so much out to condense it, you don't have time to add stuff that wasn't there.
I would agree with that, but I have to say that I have actually enjoyed some of the additions that they've put in. Some of the stuff they've added in has been really good.
I enjoy what they're doing with Logain because if they go with the book, Logain becomes a pivotal character. Yeah. He becomes very essential and very important.
I do like seeing more of him because I actually liked his character and I didn't feel like we got to see enough of him. And I do like the person playing him, so that helps.
Oh, yeah. He's awesome.
He's amazing. Yeah.
But, Logain disappeared from the books for a good amount of time until the Black Tower. So,
right.
Oh, full spoilers.
That should have been said in the beginning. Yes,
we'll put a card.
Yes, full spoilers. But,
So what else did you like about it?
I liked a lot about it.
I love Nynaeve.
I love Nynaeve.
I wish there was a little bit more braid tugging.
She doesn't really tug her braid that much, but I think she is spot on. Like, they couldn't have done better with the acting for Nynaeve. The minute I heard her speak, I was like, yep, that's Nynaeve. I mean, and the very first time she ever scowled at somebody, I was like, oh my goodness, that is so Nynaeve. Now, I have to tell you, in this season 2, really liked seeing her dress up as a Sul'dam.
Now she's going to tell us everything about the place they call the kennels.
That was amazing.
That was awesome.
The first time they panned to her and she had the black around the eyes and that outfit on, I was like, oh my. I would be terrified of her. She looked so, I don't know, just so intimidating.
Yeah, that was outstanding.
And with her personality too, with that, and then she's got I just would not want to be behind that collar with Nynaeve on the other end. Even with her block, I wouldn't want to be behind it.
One thing I'm looking forward to is Nynaeve meeting Elaida.
Oh, that should be interesting.
I can't wait to see Elaida. I don't want to mispronounce her name, but Christian from The Expanse. Oh, I mean, I know we all wanted her to be
Cadsuane.
That's
okay, though.
But Cadsuane isn't a super major character.
She's not.
And I would rather see more of her than have her in the best role that we think suits her from the one show we've seen her.
And knowing how the story ends for Elaida, I mean, I'm trying to picture it being her, Christian. I'm trying to picture it being her, and I just don't know how that's going to look, Of course, nobody does. I don't know how that's going to look, but
I think she's
going
to pull it off so well.
The way that she is going to be, like, with the girls, with Rand, just all of it, just the way she interacts with them, she's gonna slay it, because she is an amazing actress. We love her so much. I was very excited to hear that she's being added to the cast. I love Lan.
Lan is
Daniel
awesome.
Henney is amazing.
Love Lan.
He's a good actor. I wish he got to show more Lan-ness. Like, I wish he could show a little bit more of his Lan-ness, but I think eventually he will. I think he'll get to show off a little bit more, and I love seeing him do swords.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
What's a Forsaken phobia of warders? A forsaken phobia of warders.
A forsaken phobia of warders.
Land fear.
Land fear.
I read that on Reddit, so I can't take credit for that.
Lan is a warder and land fear. That's a great play on words. I love
a great
love
play
that.
on words.
It's awesome.
So whoever posted it on Reddit, that was outstanding. That's going to stick with me forever.
I was trying to think about it, and I was probably going to get there eventually. I was like, Lan is a warder. That's awesome.
That's what's some other things we love? I mean, not that I love it, but Hopper.
Oh, Hopper.
I mean, we know the death has to happen.
I know, but Hopper's a great.
You know, it has to happen
what do you
twice.
say? He's a great actor. He's an awesome wolf.
Just that Hopper's there.
He's a good boy.
He plays such an important part in teaching Perrin about the dream world.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try saying Teleran-Riyadh.
Teleran-Riyadh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows how they'll say it? We haven't heard it yet. Have they? No.
They might have said it.
Moraine said it.
She said it
to Rand. So
said it per Caide.
Teleran-Riyadh, she said. So, yeah, they said it that way. Saying Elaine. I love Elaine.
Elaine is perfect.
So perfect. Her personality, the way she can be, daughter heir, but also humble and sweet and kind. I love her. She is fantastic. Kira Coveney, I think. I'm trying not to ruin people's names, so I just, I hope I did my best.
I won't even try.
But she is amazing. And like when they first showed the scene where the light's behind her and she's healing Rand and he's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, it's like, oh, that was just so awesome. I love that. Oh, I have to tell you, one of my favorite parts of the finale is when Moraine and Reed bonds or opens up her bond to Lan. That was just amazing. That was so touching. I loved it.
I wasn't crazy about the whole her thinking she was stilled and everything because
it was to fool the non-book readers. I mean, it's just they're trying to have some little bit of intrigue or mystery for the non-book readers. I mean, I can understand it. We just have to be patient.
But that brings up another thing that I really didn't like was how Swan was actually against Rand.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the book, she would have just said, she lets him go. She's like, you need to fulfill your prophecies. You need to go do what you need to do. And she's going to lock him up.
I have a theory on that, though.
That's just not right. That's what Elida would do, not Swan.
I don't know if this is the truth, but my theory is the reason they had Swan do that was so that she could do something so horrible to Moraine that they would no longer be an item to open Moraine up for Tom. Is that still going to happen?
Well, if there's not going to be any Aelfin and Eilfin, is Tom going to be able to go rescue her?
Maybe he rescues her from something different.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's more plot-worthy for the way they're condensing.
And speaking of Aelfin and Eilfin, that better not be the Ashendare.
I think it is.
The cursed dagger tied to the end of the stick. That
is.
Better. I know they put ravens on there. We've seen the pictures, but that better not be the Ashendare. It needs to be lacquered black. It needs to have this long blade on it. It needs to be like this choice weapon. Yeah. Hey, Matt's one of my favorite characters.
I'm not as critical. I just want to see it done well enough for me to go, yes, I enjoyed this. That was awesome. I don't want to be like, oh, that was lame. That's all it takes to please me, but you're a little bit more serious of a fan here when it comes to it. You need it to be a little bit more the way you painted your picture.
For all of us,
Jordan painted your picture.
Yes. For all of us to have read these books several times, there's certain things that have to be met. We all took one to the gut when Rand did not meet everybody in the courtyard in Andor.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a disappointment
because
when he didn't meet
everybody should have been introduced there, but Elida wasn't cast yet.
And I think it was COVID restrictions were desperately making it to where they couldn't really do a lot of scenes together.
And that's possible too. But but there's certain scenes that if you don't include in the book, you're going to lose us. Like the box. If you don't put Rand in a box.
I mean, I'm not sure I want to see him in a box, but it needs to happen.
Because of that instance, he becomes another iteration of Rand.
Right.
The one that happens before he goes to the top of Dragon Mountain.
Right. I think it's important to happen. Not that I want to see it graphically.
I mean, it can happen in a different way.
It doesn't have to be so awful.
But, Dumai's Wells doesn't need to be as bloody as it is in the book. I don't know if they can produce that much Hollywood blood. I don't know. House of the Thousand Corpses did.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
maybe
doable.
they can.
But I'm not sure I really want them to do that.
But they have to have something close to there because that's amazing. Like, they're going to have to cleanse the source.
How about
There's certain things that must happen.
What about the town with the souls that never rest? The ones that come back every day.
I can see them skipping that because they just don't have enough time. Granted, those souls, they played a big part in the last battle.
They play a role in the end.
Because they're endless reinforcements every day. They come back to help reinforce everybody.
And it's an important, that's the most important thing is that they can return each time when they die. They can come back. So they're important. So I hope that
who's going to play Gaul's role?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, because he's not going to be there to have parents back.
I've heard some people say that he'll come later and they'll introduce him in a different way later, since Avienda took his spot in the opening with the...
In the cage.
Yeah, in the cage. I've heard some theories that he'll be brought in at a later time. I would hope they wouldn't remove him completely because he has important things to do in the end as well. So, but we'll see, I guess. I guess we'll see how that goes. Let's talk more about some good stuff. I love Egwene. The girl playing Egwene is amazing. She's so good. She's been good in every part from the very beginning, from when they were just in Emmons Field and she was kind of like naive-ish and still like, I don't know.
Yeah.
To her getting her spine and coming out, again, on the travels there. And then, of course, in the tower, she starts coming into her, I'm a little bit annoyed, but I'm also still trying to be humble and be a good girl.
Yeah.
And then when they take her...
she's so powerful, too.
Yeah. And then when they take her and it was like, oh, that's it. Oh, you've done it now. Now, I'll tell you what. The scene where Rena takes her hair instead of her tongue.
Perhaps it'll hurt more if I take this.
The look on her face. She didn't have to say a word. Yeah. The look in her eyes said everything to me. It said, oh, shit. That is it. You've done it now. Oh my, it was amazing. Yeah. She's so good at getting across the message without even saying a word.
Now with Rand, I mean, they cast Rand perfect. Except if it was 10 to 15 years ago.
Absolutely perfect.
If you've ever watched Star Wars,
of course.
Who played Anakin? I can't remember his name.
Hayden Christensen.
He would have been a perfect Rand as well.
He would. His broody, attitudey self would have been great for that part of Rand. And he could pull off being sweet and stuff too. He could pull off being,
That's who, when we were fan casting before all this started, he would have been our perfect Rand. He's just way too old now.
Until they found Yosha. Then I said, this dude is absolutely
Yosha
Rand.
Is awesome.
He's absolutely Rand.
My only thing is when, who's the leader of the Shan-Chan?
Oh, the
guy he killed with his power.
Turok.
Yeah. That's where he's supposed to become a blade master.
He's not ready yet, though. They haven't taught him enough stuff.
He hasn't really shown any skill with the blade at all yet.
A little bit. Tiny, but...
No, he does...
A few moves.
Yeah, a couple of moves, but no skill.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to become a blade master at this point.
I think that'll end up in season 3. I think they'll speed his course up and show him getting a lot of training. Probably between Logain and Lan.
Yeah.
They'll be getting some training back and forth there with some
Speaking of swords, we better see Kalendor.
I mean, how could you not have a Kalendor?
Kalendor is very important because it's part of the last battle.
I also heard a theory that they won't bring Kalendor in right away because he leaves it alone in Tyr forever for like 2 books. He just ignores it.
He has to get it to fulfill the prophecy.
That is true. But I have a feeling they will condense that. He will find it, and instead of leaving it in Tyr, he will find it and keep it and use it and do things with it. That's
or at least hide it.
Something.
Yeah, he at least needs to find it first. And then like, ooh, this is too powerful. And what about the 2 statues? Are they going to find those?
I think they have
I'm not even going to try to say those names.
It's a C word, and I...
Yeah, we don't like to say the C word on YouTube.
Not Quain DR either. That's the other C word. That's with a C, right?
I think it's Q.
Is it a Q?
I think it is.
Oh. Well, okay, fine, whatever. But those 2 statues with the C word, I don't want to try to say
because they're needed to cleanse the source.
Yeah.
So is there any other...
Well, let's think. So I love Moiraine.
She's the best. Yeah.
You can't, I mean, that was the first person that I ever saw the casting for, and I was absolutely head over heels. I've watched probably every movie she's ever been in.
What about Alana?
Oh, I love Alana.
I love Alana.
She's great. I love
the whole
her.
time when Egwene comes to ask the question, she starts talking about how they have 2 partners at once.
She's like,
So that answers our question if Greens do certain acts with warders.
I like how she's always being sexy, Like, no matter what
I fell in love with
she's
my
in,
Aes Sedai. I fell in love with the Order.
she always like has food. She's always eating, and she's doing it so sexy, and she's always looking at you like, "Hey, I'm a green Aja." You know what I mean? Like, you want to join me? I love her. But she has
you want to
made
be a
me,
warder too?
She's made me like Alana more, because in the books she isn't exactly the most lovable character, the most likable character, I guess.
Especially after she forcibly bombs
Right.
Rand.
So I could see when this character does it, if they do that, I could imagine they have to. But I won't be as angry with her for doing it as I was with the other Alana in the books, because she wasn't as likable of a character, and this Alana is just so lovable. I mean, she's so easy to love.
Totally agree with that.
That you'll just be like, oh, it's okay. She did it for a good reason. You'll just blow it off, be like, that's fine. It's fine. We're good with it.
The only person we haven't talked about yet is Perrin.
Oh, Perrin. I love Perrin.
I love Perrin. He's doing great. I wish he wouldn't have had a wife.
Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have had a wife and
because
would have killed her.
That was so unnecessary. You don't have to kill your wife to become brooding and try to come out of it.
He was already brooding. He's Eeyore.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely Eeyore. And I can't wait to see who Fael's going to be. Because Fael is probably one of my favorite female characters in the whole book.
I thought I saw a casting for her, but maybe I was wrong.
But I'm waiting until they make it official. Because I love Fael. Fael's just awesome.
She is an amazing
character. They better not pronounce it Fael.
Oh, please don't pronounce it Fael. Please don't. Come on, guys.
Come on now. Fael.
But yeah, she's an important character because she's the daughter of Bashir.
Yes.
Our puppy. So yeah, she's very important. But I do love Perrin. I like how he can be angry. Oh, and this reminded me to say something about Lan too. How he can be angry but still quiet.
Yes.
He's quietly angry, like he kind of yells, but so softly.
He's so reserved, but he is the one you want to stay away from in a battle because he's like we talked about earlier today. If you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, he's the white orc. He's just taking his hammer, bam, bam, and there's just death and destruction all around him. You don't want to be around Perrin when he's in God mode.
That brings me back to the other person who also does very well at this, and that's Lan.
Yes.
Lan, Daniel Henney is very, very good at this. Like, he doesn't ever get mad, but the couple times he did get a little mad, he was so reserved and so cool. He was like the really cool, angry guy, and I love that. I love how he pulls off Lan. It's a little different from the book Lans. It is. But it's still amazing.
But it works.
It works for me great. I like the way he is.
Fantastic.
It definitely works for me.
Oh, there is one person we haven't spoken of at all yet, and I'm worried because I want to see her with her long curls, and that's Min.
Oh, yeah.
Elmindra. Because how's that going to work out when she's a spy in the White Tower? Or not spy, but...
Will she spy in the White Tower now?
I don't know. Her story has gotten so off of whatever she's done in the book that hopefully they don't lose her.
Right now, the only part that seems to be where it should be is her ability.
And that's about it.
They've had her in different places than I expected.
The thing she did with Matt was kind of weird.
But I liked how she warned
being
him.
Locked in all different cells and that was just all kind of strange.
I was okay with it. I saw the point, like, she's being used by people.
Yeah,
which does happen. Lots of people use her.
Always.
And so I saw the purpose of that, and it was to get Matt out of the cell and to get him to do the things because she didn't realize, she thought she was working for Leandra and didn't. Oh, I gotta talk about her.
Oh.
And didn't realize she was actually working for Ishamael. And he is amazing too. I have to say, wow.
Yeah.
The Forsaken are spot on, amazing.
The only thing about Ishamael is in the book he's portrayed a little bit
crazy.
More psycho.
He's loopy.
And he is so... what's the word? He's
just chill. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's really
granted, he
really
still wants
likable.
to end the wheel. But yeah, you the way he portrays everything, you definitely see his point of view, and you're like,
you don't
I understand
hate him. You don't go, you know what? You're just a bad guy. I almost said the D word. You're just a bad guy and I don't like you. It's more like, wow, this poor guy has had to live so many lives. He just wants to rest. He just wants it to be done. He's tired.
Tired of the repeat. Groundhog Day.
He's so nice. He touches people. He caresses them. He's gentle. He's kind with the little girl. It's like, he's a really kind evil man.
It's hard to hate him.
It is. It's very hard to hate him
And
because
speaking
he's kind.
of people that are hard to hate, Leandra.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
In the books, you absolutely hate her, but
you want her to die all the
Kate
time.
Fleetwood? Did I say that right? Fleetwood? Kate Fleetwood, I think. She is so good as Leandra, and her story, her backstory, every bit of the time they have her on screen, she's amazing, and I really love her backstory. It
It's
really
hard to
gave
hate her.
Personality that makes you go, again, this poor woman didn't want to become a dark friend, but she was trying to keep her son alive because he was so old. And she just couldn't stand to let him go. He was the only man she's ever trusted and loved. So that just squeezes your heart in a box, you know?
Yeah.
It just is awful. It's like I feel so bad for her. And then when Lanfear did her a favor.
Speaking of Lanfear,
broke my heart so much.
Outstanding.
Man.
I love Lanfear.
She is so good. She is like the best. I absolutely love her. She's so good, so good, so good. But let's talk about Creepy Girl.
Oh, I was gonna say let's send it on the creepy
Woo!
note.
Moghedien.
Oh my goodness.
She is so creepy.
A lot different than in the book.
She's
but
different
in a good way.
I like her.
Because in the book, a lot of the Forsaken just end up kind of looking different, but they're the same.
They're the same evil character.
They have the same kind of motives. Like you have what's the blonde one? That doesn't wear any clothes, pretty much.
You made me forget now. Grendel.
Yeah, you got Grendel and Moghedien.
Yeah.
They pretty much kind of behave like the same person.
Well, except
but
for
they just look
Grendel
different.
likes toys. She likes pretty, special, important toys.
Yeah,
and she
they
likes
have
to be
different
very
likes,
cruel to them.
But the way they go about their business, always in the background and everything, they're about the same.
I love the fact that Moghedien is this teeny tiny little girl. She's so small.
That's creepy as hell.
And she's so creepy.
Oh, that was awesome. She made Lanfear all.
Yes, she scares Lanfear. So it's like, ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually sad to see Ishamael die. I was sad.
Yeah, well, we knew it was coming.
I know he'll return
and he's
as
coming
someone
back.
else.
He's coming back in Rand's new body.
Yeah, that's right. But I do love him, and he'll look different, right? So we won't get to see the same guy anymore. I really liked him.
Yeah,
I like
he was
that
good.
actor.
He portrayed it just so well.
I liked him a lot.
I mean, I know they said about not another battle in the sky.
That's okay. I was cool with it.
Because, the whole thing about it was that
sky.
everybody was able to witness the battle.
Right.
And in this case, they witnessed the victor.
Right.
And only because Moraine had a dragon going all around it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, it
he
worked.
He proclaimed himself in the sky.
It did work.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody was, there's paintings of the battle.
That's true.
Everybody saw the red-haired kid
witnesses.
going against the eye-blazing god.
Well, this guy has no hair. Remember, he has shit hair.
Yeah. He's shit hair.
He has shit hair, but he's alive. Yeah. So,
but overall...
what did we miss? Anything?
I don't think so.
Loyal.
Oh, yeah. He is awesome.
I
know they can't make him 9 foot tall.
Yes, but he is so amazing. His voice, the way he talks, the temper of it, like how he does it, and I just love him. Oh my goodness.
Another thing, in 2 seasons, what we haven't gotten enough of. Blood and Bloody Ashes.
Oh, I need some Blood and Bloody Ashes.
We need some Blood and Bloody Ashes.
Saidar, Blood and Bloody Ashes.
Yes.
Really. Come on now. Anything else? I mean, Ingtar was awesome. I loved him. All the other... Uno is amazing.
I mean,
amazing.
I was pretty sure we weren't going to have the circus act,
right.
With Elaine walking on the tightrope. And Uno was part of that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they're going to have to cut out. And you know what?
Though.
There's a lot of stuff they should cut out because there's parts when you're rereading it for the 4th time, you're like, really? I hate this part.
I don't ever hate any parts, and I don't ever skip any parts. I think they should have her. She's important.
Eludra's very important.
She helps them. She gives them special things that they need to use.
Matt needs to get his gunpowder somehow.
I mean, right, exactly. And he has to have somebody that draws his attention away from Tuon.
Yeah,
he needs, the wandering eye to appear.
I can't wait to see Tuon.
Oh, please choose the one I want. I've already picked my Tuon. It's the girl that's in the Sabrina.
Yes.
I can't remember her name right.
She would be perfect.
Tati something. Oh, she's amazing. I would love to see her as Tuon. I would love that.
So,
I think that's about it. I think we've about covered it.
So that's
overall,
our take.
I think it's great.
That's our take on our pluses and minuses. I know not everybody's going to agree with us, but
especially season 2. I love it.
Yeah, we're hardcore book fans that have been wanting something like this forever. So there's going to be a lot that we're going to be okay with.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some stuff I'm going to bitch at you the whole time.
At least you'll have me over here to enjoy it. I enjoy most everything. It's good though. It's a balance.
Yeah. So thank you for watching this video of us ranting and raving and exclaiming. And I am Tef.
I'm Saidar.
And we are the punk rock parents doing the wheel time.
That's right. And we'll see you next time.